Well, a federal election date hasn't been announced yet, but both sides of politics have now well and truly slipped into campaign mode. The Opposition Leader Tony Abbott fired his opening salvo, pledging $1.5 billion to improve care for young people with mental illnesses. It's the sort of commitment many had expected to come from the Rudd government. Mental health experts are now hoping that Julia Gillard will match the offer or make an even better one. Here's Chief Political Correspondent Mark Simpkin.
Julia Gillard moved her books, her boots, her ball and herself into the Prime Minister's office.
Arranging.
Her ascensions forced Tony Abbott to venture into the tricky world of gender politics.
As a woman, I want to be judged on my competence.
This is like killing koalas.
In a symbolic move, the opposition leader even threw a pair of budgies on the Barbie.
That is quite revolting, isn't it?
The silliness turned serious with a major policy announcement. The coalition pledged to spend $1.5 billion on mental health programs.
This will be a big step forward. This will be a big step forward.
The money will be spent on 20 early intervention centres, hundreds of mental health beds and dozens of youth centres.
It's a very welcome announcement. It's a very major down payment on the reconstruction of Australia's mental health system.
The Shadow Finance Minister helped unveil the policy. He's battled depression most of his life.
We have replaced $1.5 billion worth of bureaucrats with $1.5 billion worth of frontline clinical medical health specialists.
Not quite. The policy is partly funded by axing government plans for electronic health records and GP superclinics.
I think there is a very big question mark over whether this is phony Tony or real Tony making these commitments today.
The government's making commitments of its own. Key ministers are negotiating with the CEOs of Australia's biggest mining companies. Sources say a tax deal's unlikely before Friday, but it does appear progress is being made.
Serious consultation, serious negotiations are underway. We are very hopeful of a quick resolution.
That's little consolation for a victim of the mining brawl. Kevin Rudd returned to his Brisbane electorate.
Thank you for being so nice.
Perhaps nicer than some of his colleagues were.
Did you kick Julia under the table?
What's bygones is bygones.
Time to move on. Mark Simpkin, ABC News, Canberra.